Hi everyone, thanks so much for tuning in again. Today we have Shaun Attwood and his partner in crime, literally, Wildman. So basically I went on Shaun and Wildman's post, can I say, is it both your podcasts?
True Crime Podcast.
Yeah. Which will be all below this if you want to check it out. Do check it out because, well, as you're going to find out, there's some amazing stories and they have some amazing people on, including myself. So tell us like where everything started, like from a young, obviously it's from a very young age, and tell us all about yourselves.
It started in Widnes where we were born, this little chemical manufacturing town, didn't it?
Yeah, it did, yeah.
And he went to a different school from me. I was a bit more studious. And Peter was a bit wild.
I got expelled at like 13.
What for?
Putting a teacher in the bin.
Pardon?
I put a teacher in the bin. What it was, he kept on like sort of picking on me, and as I was coming out of where you get your food,
Yeah.
I was coming out of there, and he stood right near the bins and he's having a cigarette, and he called me over, and he said, "You haven't got your tie done properly and all that." And I thought to myself, "I'm gonna have you." So I just like, they have them like big industrial bins where they put all the slop. So I just threw him in it. I got suspended indefinitely for that. And then they had a private tutor from 9 o'clock to 11. I just did English and math. And then I could go home. And then I ended up going to all the other schools around me and getting into fights and stuff. So I actually got expelled. So I left school would have been the 4th year.
Right. So what age was that? That's like 14, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. And
His oldest brother was the head of our little street gang called the Sweats. We'd watched
The Sweats?
We'd watched.
That sounds nice.
We'd watched a lot of American street gang movies like The Warriors and The Wanderers. So we were the Sweats. And he wouldn't let Peter join the gang, and he picked on him.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I eventually splintered off from them and hung out with Peter.
Right.
And then we formed our own alliance.
Just you two?
Yes.
So this is like from a really, really young age, and now
we were tight from kids.
Oh, I love that. So let's get to it. Where did it was stocks and shares, weren't it?
Well, I started following the stock market when I was 14, and
Yeah.
my teacher was like explaining the Financial Times, all that stuff. 16, I asked my mum and dad for some money to invest because Maggie Thatcher was privatising these companies, and they told me to bugger off because they were Labour supporters. And they were like, "We're not Tories like your nan. Who do you think we're asking us for money for Margaret bloody Thatcher?" So I thought, all right, my nan. Hit my nan up. She gave me 50 quid, doubled it right away in BT shares, and that was it. I was hooked. At the top of our town, there's a quarry called on Peck's Hill, and there's a tree overlooking this quarry. So me and Peter and his cousin Hammy would go up this tree, and we called it the thinking tree. And we'd sit there, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to go to America, make $1 million in the stock market, fly you guys over. And that's what happened.
Amazing. And all this stemmed from a thinking tree.
Yeah.
The thinking tree.
Peck's Hill became famous many years ago. Remember Brookside?
Yeah.
That's where Barry Grant did all these like gangsterish things up there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's like the really posh houses up there.
So a lot's gone on there then.
Yeah. It's a big quarry. And at one time it was just full of water.
Right.
There was always like robbed cars and people getting through in there and stuff.
You were throwing people in there.
Not me personally, no. I plead the fifth.
So you're what age now when you're talking about this? You're still in your teens, are you?
Yeah, I'd be 20 now.
20?
Yeah. Because I went to prison when I was 21.
Right. What was that for?
Street robbery.
Right.
And I did 2.5. And I got out. And Shaun said, "Look, do you want to come over? Because you just got to..." Oh, that was it. I'd been out 6 months. And I got caught up with a GBH. And broke the guy's jaw, put him in hospital for a while. So I was up for Crown Court, and Shaun said, "Do you want to come over? Because you're just going to get sent down again." So I did a flight. I said, "I'll tell you what, I'll come over to stay out of trouble." Famous last words.
When you're saying flying, so is this when you're in Arizona, is it?
So I went to Arizona in 1991.
Right.
I'm working as a stockbroker, glorified telesales.
Your family lived there as well, didn't you? You had aunties in Arizona, is
Yeah,
that
aunts
right?
and uncles. That's how I went out there. Like my aunt, when I was a kid, when I was 16 actually, she changed my date of birth in my passport so I could go nightclubbing in Arizona. So I was 21.
What a sick auntie.
And then
My aunties are so shit.
and then she's introducing me to all these beautiful American women as Paul McCartney's nephew.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Go on.
So can you imagine the effect that had on me coming from Widnes, Arizona, plane landing, swimming pools in all the backyards, sun's out, they hear the English accent, they roll out the red carpet.
They're a bit thick, the Yanks. They think, "Do you know the royal family? Do you know such a person? I met him once called Bob."
Have you had tea and crumpets with the Spice Girls? In prison later on, guards and prisoners, some, asked me, what language do they speak in England?
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I was dazzled by Arizona, coming from Widnes, like this sunny place where they hear the English accent and you're in. And
In your element, wouldn't you?
I'm thinking, right, when I finish uni, I want to come out here and get some of this.
What were you doing at uni?
Did business studies at Liverpool Uni.
Right, okay.
And that was our primary Raving Days in Liverpool and Manchester, was like late 80s to 91.
Right, tell us about the Raving Days. That's what we want to hear about as well.
In the beginning, me and Peter were just driving around Liverpool. And what was that one we went to?
At first, we went up there and we were shirt and tied up. We used to go raving at first. We used
Mr. Smith's in Waddington.
We used to go Mr. Smith's in Warrington, and then in Liverpool, Coconut Grove in Toxteth. And then we used to go to Grab a Granny, didn't we?
What was it called, that one? Grafton.
The Grafton. So we started off going places like that. And then we were going home, and we went past the warehouse in Beaumont Street, and we heard this music. So we went to see what it was, and it was basically, there was two big black guys, and they had that Tesco carrier bag or an Asda bag, and you put a tenner in it, and you'd go in, and it was an old scrapyard, but they were doing like a rave, an illegal rave. So we were there, and we didn't have no drugs or anything. We thought, we like this, we're going to come back here again. And it got cut short because the police come and set the dogs on us, but everyone got off. But the next week, we got some new clothes. We looked a bit shady, really, in suits, you know what I mean? We looked like coppers.
No, why did you go? Why were you at a Ravens? Oh, no, you didn't plan to go to a
It
Ravens.
was just starting, right? And everyone before the scene, you had to line up with your shirt and tie on or whatever suit, and the bouncers would come out, and maybe they'd let you in, maybe they wouldn't. And the young people got sick of it and just started breaking into warehouses and wearing what the hell they wanted. That's how it started.
I'm just trying to picture you two in a suit in a rave.
But the first clubs we went were Thunderdome and Conspiracy in Manchester, weren't they?
Conspiracy, yeah.
Oh, I've never even heard of them.
And Soundgarden.
Showing your age now, boys. I've never heard
Thunderdome
of
was
them.
on Oldham Road.
Right.
Dodgy as hell, wasn't it? A lot of big Salford crew in
So
there.
what music was that now? Was that like heavy like techno and stuff like that?
No, it was acid house, and it was like,
oh yeah, it
had the lyrics.
House, yeah.
So can you
Nice
remember?
woman's voice, like sunshine on a rainy day.
Yeah.
That type of music.
Right.
I'll house you, all that stuff.
So when did you get into? Obviously, we'll get to the other bits in a bit, but were you obviously taking pills and stuff when you started going to raves and things like that?
Yeah, we first took, we were like that, shall we or shan't we? We met the local dealer, they're just outside. And at the time, they were like £25. They were like big brown disco biscuits. And we had one, and we thought, that's brilliant, that. Your head's just like that, you start bobbing, and you hairstyle. You went, oh yeah, it's cool, isn't it?
So you've started obviously dabbling in like taking stuff and whatever. When did you kind of then get into the whole industry of
Well, that
like,
took a long
selling
time
and
because I
stuff?
was working as a stockbroker for like 5 to 7 years.
Right.
Peter was in England for that period of time.
I was selling weed and speed.
Weed and speed.
And I'm thinking, right, if we get into Arizona, he can come out here and be a wrestler.
Right.
I was a bit idealistic. So I got him a flat right next to the Georgian Dragon British pub in central Phoenix.
Right.
Thinking he'll just go in and have a bevy with the fellas from England,
Yeah.
the expats.
Yeah.
Get him a job as a wrestler and we'll live happily ever after.
Right. And what happened then?
Me and my bird show up at the flat a couple of weeks or months into it, and we knock on the door, and a bunch of Mexicans answer the door. And I say, "Where's Peter?" And they're like, "What?" I said, "Where's Peter? He lives here." They go, "Pizza?" No one, we don't want pizza. No, Peter, he lives here. And then they all just pull guns out. And the Colombian guy, who's the boss, who's a crack dealer, comes out. He's got his gun out. They're like, who are you looking for?
Oh
and we're backpedaling across the street thinking we're about to get shot. Peter walks over the road, smiling, goes, "Oh, don't worry about them, la. That's the local Colombian crack lord, and they're these Mexican salesmen. And I've rented my apartment out to them because they like to move around a lot, and they're buzzing because I can smoke $100 crack rock in one breath."
What the hell? So go on. You've ended up with, what were they like? The local like crack like.
Yeah, so they're the local dealers around there, and you'd see cars pull up and they'd pick up and all that. And I got talking to them. They really liked my accent, and they were saying they're looking for somewhere to stay. And I said, "Well, yeah, I'll show you the place." So I showed them where I was at. And they said, "Yo, we'll take it, whatever you want." So I went over the road to like a guy that I'd met. And I said, "Listen, is it all right if I stay with you for a couple of weeks? I said, I'll sort you out with some crack and some crystal." He said, "Oh yeah, but yeah, you're welcome, English, you're welcome." Well, he used to call me also at the time. It means Burr. So go over there, and I went over, arranged the price with him. It was basically as much crack as I wanted and $100 a week. So I thought, I'll rent it. I'll sub it to these. I forgot to tell Shaun.
Like you do.
Yeah, I just nearly get shot.
I didn't think he'd mind, like, you know what I mean? I thought you'd think, it's unsurprising, really.
So what happened from there? Did you obviously so you found this out and it's just become the norm that this is happening?
That was just the beginning.
Yeah. So would you say this
That
is
was
where
mild.
Is this where it started? Like this started to unfold everything else? Because you're still working as a stockbroker at this point, aren't you? You're like, what the fuck's going on?
In the end, the crack dealers had to move on. They only stay there for about 5-6 weeks, and they've got to move on because the police will come otherwise.
Right.
So I moved back in my place, and it was brilliant because a lot of them were paranoid. So I put my hand down the sofa like that, and there were big rocks of crack. They'd stashed the drugs because they were that high, but they forgot to stash them. So I'm like, "Hey, winner, chicken dinner," enjoying it. And then, cut a long story short, I had a party, and some guy come over, shot himself in the head, and he's laying half in the flat and half out the flat. The police come, take me down, the homicide squad come, take my passport from me, do an investigation, it come back as suicide, and give me my passport back. But after that, I didn't want to live in that flat. I wanted to move somewhere else.
So basically, the apartment had rented him. He started out renting it off to a Colombian drug lord, and it ended with a corpse on the doorstep.
Shit.
Mm. And we had better days than that, like.
God, yeah, let's talk about those days. What? So that happened, obviously, and so you've got him another apartment.
Yeah, he moved to the west side of Phoenix with this perm-haired cowboy gangster disciple guy.
Are you still like dead clean cut here?
I'm still a stockbroker.
You're still just.
So we relocate him to this apartment on the west side. I think they're behind in their rent or something. So I put down some money for it. The steroid head bouncer, perm herd cowboy says he's a tough guy. He's in there with these two women, and he's like talking all this tough stuff. This guy, and I'm thinking,
Dick.
Peter's he's probably going to get purified by the Wildman if he keeps talking like that. And
He told me to do the dishes and tidy up after myself. So put his head through the wall. Literally got his head and just smashed it through the wall. And he went running out with a plaster of Paris all over his head.
so I just put down like £1,000 deposit to house Peter in this place.
Right.
So I call up the apartment manager, and the apartment manager says, we're going to have to evict Peter. And I said, why? She said, because he's put his roommate's head through the wall. And I said, did you see him putting his roommate's head through the wall? And she said, no, but he was seen running through the apartment complex with plaster all over his head and face, screaming for someone to help him because he'd been assaulted.
Didn't tell me to tidy up again, though.
Fortunately, Peter had done this so quickly within moving in, they hadn't cashed the check. And I was able to stop it. I was able to stop it, yeah.
Right. So you've got your grand back.
The two girls that he was living with, one of them is dating a guy in Tempe, Arizona, who's behind on his rent. So Wildman moves there next, and this becomes the hub then for the beginning of the criminal enterprise. This is where we meet all our people, like Russian mafia, Mexican mafia, everyone through this.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Come on. What happened?
Where we actually moved to, it was brilliant. It was like it was a college apartment, so it was just like full of college people.
Like University of Arizona State University.
Right.
Yeah.
It was like 2 doors away from me. There was like cheerleaders, and they were all getting high. And it was just, it just made sense to sell drugs there.
Go on, tell us about the people that you've met and when it all started. When did it kind of start to...
So this apartment is owned by a guy called Crybaby Joe. And he gets in debt with me. Crybaby Joe gets in debt with me. He's trying to sell pills and stuff. And so Wildman just takes over the place then, starts to sell off all of his furniture. And there's holes in all the walls and the ceiling. And he just starts throwing his own parties and inviting everybody over from like street people, Native American transsexuals, Russian mafia, Mexican mafia. And it just became this non-stop party place.
And everyone just got on.
Everyone got on. It was amazing. They're all on Ecstasy and all just hugging and telling each other their life stories, and we were just listening to chilled out music.
Why the hell's like this kind of people all together like in one place?
Wherever Peter went,
I always met these people. I don't know how or why, but I'd always bump into them and get talking to them. Yeah,
it's like this. When I was a young person in my teens, I was a bit shy and anxious till I got on the Ecstasy. But Peter would talk to absolutely anybody. And that carried through into later in our lives. He opened all the doors for me to meet certain people.
So you've kind of like bounced off each other in one way or another.
Yeah, and wherever he would go, whether it was LA, we all drove out to Raving LA, took my whole crew out there. Peter's like, I'm not going. By the end of the night, when we come home from that rave, he's got all the street people coming to the hotel room, giving him free drugs. There's a guy in a Viper's got a kilo of coke in it. He's asking Peter to be his bodyguard. Wow. Wherever he goes.
He just attracts it.
He just attracts everyone. Doesn't matter what walks of life they're from.
Oh, that's good.
He starts running the place. They said if we sent him down to Mexico and he behaved like he does, violent, they would kill him.
Yeah.
And he went down to Mexico and they called him El Oso, the Burr, because of his fighting style. The guys, the mafia guys there were running him around in jeeps.
Literally got 9 lives.
Buzzing off him. Anywhere he goes, he just does it. He's got this ability.
So you've got all these people in your life now. You said before, like, your people. When you say your people, were these people that started working for you, or like where did all the
misfits. We
Yeah.
were a bunch of misfits who formed a crime family.
Right.
Not a traditional crime
So
family.
this was Ecstasy, wasn't it?
It was the rave scene. There were people from all walks of life, odd people, and we became a really tight unit.
What kind of people? So when you say like misfits, who was in the group? Obviously, I'm not saying names, but like what kind of people? Did you all?
They range from Brainiac, Arizona State University students, like the Rabbit, like certain other people, to... Go on, you want to expand?
There was literally all sorts. There was like from university people to black gangsters, Antoine and stuff.
Yeah. My top sales guy, when I first met him, he was homeless and smoking crack. And I ended up helping him get a house and everything.
Oh.
He'd be moving like 10,000 pills. He would.
Yeah.
He did his wrong though in the end, didn't he?
In the end, there was a fallout between him, Skinner, and Peter that caused some problems.
Did that happen a lot when you were kind of working in that industry?
Well, it ended up with about 200 people working for me.
Shit.
So there was...
Let's start from before like we go too much into that.
Yeah.
So you've said it. This is where. So this new place is your new hub. Like
Yeah.
this is
Rancho
where it all-
Murrieta.
Rancho
So
Murrieta.
how the hell did you end up like selling like the amount that you did on the scale? Was it like I read £4 million worth or something?
All right, so at the Rancho Murrieta level, this is an experiment now for me. I'm still a stockbroker.
Okay.
So what...
As if she's still doing that. That's-
we're having these parties that I've described, and we can get about 100 pills from the local dealers. And they're going like that. And I'm seeing the business potential of it now.
Right.
So I find out that they're getting them from LA. Me and Peter and Seth and Acid Joey, and Seth and Acid Joey are dead now. We all go out to LA, and we're parked outside this surfer gangster's house waiting for him to come home to get these pills. And he comes in, I go in on my own. Those guys are like my backup outside. And I've got all this money on me, like, I don't know, 10, 15,000. I'm thinking, am I going to get robbed? With the cops watching this place, what's going to happen? And he goes into a back room and he comes out with the biggest bag of ecstasy pills I've ever seen in my life. Like 1,000 Mitsubishis or something like that. So I say, all right, can I try one? He goes, do you want me to get you a drink? I'm like, nah, I'm just going to chew it because I know what the taste of ecstasy is. So I just chewed it and it was a good pill. And that was it. We all dropped pills, drove back and got to his place, and they were gone in the weekend. They were all sold. So I'm thinking, do I want to keep working the stock market, working these long
What did you
hours?
make from that? From selling them? Do you remember?
All right. So this was before it was like there was multiple levels of the sales distribution channels. I was just doing it on my own on this experimental basis. So I bought those for about $12 a pill, and they were going anywhere from $20 to $30 a pill, depending on how much people bought. So I doubled whatever the money was in a weekend.
And then so you were weighing up, why am I doing stockbroking now?
Yes.
Like, shall I move out of it?
Yes.
And did you? Is that when was it an
I
immediate
did,
thing?
yeah. But Peter, then his stay was not that long because he ended up getting deported for the first time.
Back to here?
Yeah.
Right.
I ended up getting kicked out from America. And I was in immigration for about 4 months. And I got deported back.
4 months?
Yeah.
What was that like?
Wasn't too bad, really. It was because... Oh, excuse me. For one, I was the biggest person in there because they're all little Mexicans. And they're only about this big. And the food was really good. It's not like prison. It's like... it's sort of like you're in a detention centre, but they don't treat you like a prison. You're allowed
You're just
money.
chilled?
You're just dead chilled, yeah.
Right, okay.
Got deported, come back to England. I was home for about... I met some bird, the Gobby Scouser. And,
Is that the one with the house?
yeah.
We need to remember to tell that story.
And
Let's just call her Wild Woman.
yeah, she was going through a divorce, and her husband was being an ass to her. So I moved in and basically kicked him out.
You moved in while he was there?
Yeah.
Go on.
And he packed all this stuff out, threw it outside, and then he wouldn't want to fight. I grabbed him, pinned against the wall, but he didn't want to fight. So he just left, saying it's not fair, this. I said, well, life ain't fair, is it? So I booted him out of his own house, and then I just moved in that day. I don't even know her a week.
Jesus.
We got on. I mean, the first year was brilliant. It was just like, I suppose we were still in love then.
Yeah.
But after that, it just went downhill rapidly.
Did you find, obviously, because like you were away and stuff, so obviously you've got this bird that you've met after a week. So relationships and stuff, has it been like difficult because of, you've had far from an ordinary life, haven't you? What have your relationships been like and stuff like that, like with women and stuff? Have you been married, Shaun?
Yeah, 3 times.
3 times?
Yeah.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Are you married now?
No.
What about you?
I'm married, yeah.
You're married?
Been married for...
Not to this one, though, that you were talking about.
No, not to the mad scouser, no. I've been married for about 5 years.
Right.
She's completely different to me. She's like... well, I've changed now. I don't do drugs no more.
Do you think it's because you're older?
No, I just think I've got a good woman behind me.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm settled.
Yeah. You're content now.
Yeah, I'm content.
Yeah. So, go on, anyway. Let's get back to the juicy stuff that everyone wants to hear about. So, all this is going on. If you quit the stockbroking
So
now.
when I quit the stock market as a stockbroker while Peter was there on his first visit. So now I've chose to go full time into the party scene.
Okay.
Peter's back in England now for about 2 years or so.
Did you miss him?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Because you have got, like, obviously an emotional attachment, haven't you? You're a team, like, working together as a team.
Yeah. So, but I just continue to build it up, the criminal enterprise, with the connections Peter had helped me establish.
Right.
So Peter was my main protection as well.
And
But he did introduce me to some tough people.
Right, okay.
Including, we'll just say a Mexican-American person, because he's got a bit paranoid about us saying stories about him.
Okay.
Yeah, who was connected to the Mexican mafia, the new Mexican mafia, who became I got into business with them as well, yeah.
You got into business with the Mexican mafia?
The new Mexican mafia.
Shit.
Yeah.
So tell us about that. Like, how do you get into how do you just get into business with somebody like that? With people like
at
that?
Rancho Murrieta, there was a series of parties that we had, and the Mexican American person would come over, and he was dealing coke and weed, and I was dealing the E. And at one of these parties, a policeman just walked into the room, and the policeman who walked into the room said, I could smell weed from outside. Nobody moved. Goes to grab his radio like he's going to call it in, have us all arrested. So the Mexican-American guy just pulls out his gun, points at the cop, says, the only one who's not leaving is you, MF. Everybody run. So we all run off into the night.
Shit.
And we're thinking we're going to get arrested. I go to a nearby apartment, and we're like, should we flush our drugs? What's going to happen? The cop's going to come. There's like a helicopter coming. There's police sirens and everything. And I was like, bam, 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 knock on the door. Let me in. It's him who'd pulled the gun on the cops. So he says, don't open the door, turn the lights off, turn TV off. If they've not got a warrant, they can't come in. If they knock on the door, don't answer it. And that's what happened.
Thank God you had him.
Yeah, and at the end of the night, he goes, because you and your friends protected me and my brothers have got your back.
Oh, amazing.
So months later, I go over to the house.
Right.
There's all these lowriders on the street. And his brother answers the door and he's looking up at me and he's like, he hears my English accent. And he goes, damn, you talk funny, homie. It's like, you, I guess you are from England. Come in and meet my homeboys. So I go in the living room and they're all in there, these massive tattooed Mexican-Americans. They've all got the chains on, little wife-beater vests, shorts down below the knees, all the prison tattoos, all kinds of weapons, slabs of coke, slabs of crystal meth, weighing machines. And I'm looking around the room. It's the biggest TV I've ever seen in my life, next to a little TV with CCTV showing everything on the road, so they're looking out for the police to come in.
Yeah.
But I do a double take when I look at the TV. I'm like, hold on a minute, I've seen one of them before. got a rocket-propelled grenade launcher on top of the TV.
Oh, what?
Rocket-propelled grenade launcher.
What the fuck?
Shoots. You can put a missile in it and shoot down a helicopter.
Like a bazooka.
Oh my God.
And I still didn't know who they were, and I was in business with them for years. And it was only when I took the Mexican-American guy back to his brother's house years later, the whole neighborhood was blacked out, and the police were out directing traffic with light ones, and they were all getting brought out in handcuffs by a federal SWAT team, and it showed all the pictures on the news, and that said who they were then. And that's how I knew who they were.
And that's how
then.
you found out?
That's when I found out, yeah.
I suppose it doesn't really matter though. If someone's like got you back, you're not even bothered, are you? You're not
No, he was a solid dude, our guy who protected us in Arizona. Yeah, he really had that back. Obviously, I love and trust Peter the most out of everybody, but I would say after Peter, it
would have been him.
Yeah.
I got on with him as soon as we met. We got on sound. It was just like, we were just like double trouble, really. We were so much like one another. I didn't like his brothers too much.
But he did tell me from the get-go, don't ever take Wildman to my brother's house. They won't get along.
They won't get along.
Yeah.
So you didn't do that then?
No. Well, he did. Well,
Guys, turned up once.
He did turn up once. And they were at the door with like AK-47s and mini machine guns. And they let me in. They go, he's not coming in. And he doesn't just walk away. He's like, I'm not effing coming in. Who are you telling me I'm not?
Oh my God.
And I'm like dragging him away, and he's like yelling at him.
Did you not shit yourself like when he was kind of like that? Like,
yeah, I did. I half shit myself, but half was my decision-making process was scrambled by drugs as well. It gives you false bravery.
Yeah. So skipping forward now, are you both in jail together? Like, so all this has been going on. How did you get caught? What the hell happened? And tell us about prison life.
There was witness statements. There was the fallout with Wildman and Skinner. Skinner became the main police informant. There was 10 informants.
So there was someone ratting on you in your group?
Ratting on us. Skinner, the main guy, who was my main salesman. The guy got the house, who was living in the dumpsters before. He fell out with Wildman. He became an informant. May 16th, 2002 was the first SWAT team arrests. And
why was he doing that? Was he getting paid? Is that what happens?
He was scared for his life, apparently, because I was going to kill him.
So that's why he started grassing?
Yeah.
He had some black gangsters he was hanging out with, and he formed, there was like a conspiracy whereby Wildwoman's apartment, while Peter was in federal immigration deportation prison, Wildwoman's apartment was firebombed.
Right.
And then the black gangsters showed up to take Wildwoman to safety. And she's like, I ain't getting a car with you with all my pills. And we later found out that Skinner had orchestrated the whole thing.
Shit.
Firebomb comes right through the window, almost sets her on fire. So Peter's in deportation, and Skinner's thinking he's never going to get back in the country. So I hire a lawyer to expedite the process, get him out and fly him right back, smuggle him right back in again.
So he's come back in?
He's back in, and now Skinner's terrified.
Did that like 3 times, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
So you've been he's like conspiring behind your back, and
so I know it's all got too heavy, and I've quit the importation.
Right.
I'm just chilling out in an apartment in Scottsdale with my bird. And May 16th, 2002, I'm on the computer. I'm back to doing stock trading, and it's like bam, 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 bam on the door. And it's a SWAT team, and they came for Peter as well. So all simultaneous arrests.
Yeah, they arrested all of us in the same day.
What was your day of arrest like?
Oh, it was horrible because, well, I just took a massive big hit of crack, and I'm like, whoa. And then I made this bang, bang, bang on the door, and I look, and it's the police. And I just opened the door, I went, oh, it's the police, and shut the door again. I thought, oh, shit, it is as well. So they said, they had the like, guns out and all that, and my house had a gate. They knocked the gate into the front, like, into the hallway. They come in, and then they get on the ground, shouting, bawling. They put the gun to you. Hands behind your back. They cuff us and put us in a van, and didn't tell me what for, didn't say anything. Just basically just took me.
Is this what happened? Is this similar to what happened to you as well?
Yeah, we go to Tempe Police. We've got this mobile unit where we all get booked into there. We go Tempe Police Station, but then we enter. At the night time, they transfer us all over to Sheriff Joe Arpaio's Madison Street Jail, the Maricopa County Jail, which has got the highest rate of death and mayhem in the whole country. And this place is like off the hook. Guards murdering mentally ill prisoners. Gang members murdering prisoners. I've got videos of both murders on my YouTube channel. But fortunately, I got arrested with Peter. He's, look at the size of me. Peter's a good guy to get arrested with.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So you knew where you were heading for? Did you know about the reputation of the jail then?
Well, Peter had been in the Horseshoe before, and he told us what it was like.
Yeah, I'd been arrested a couple of times. And only did the odd week or two there. I think the most I did was 12 weeks. So I knew what we were heading for. I didn't know how much time we were heading for.
Yeah.
But I knew where we were going. And everything's an adventure to me. I don't worry about
ride
anything.
it through because it's out of your control anyway, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
there's no point in stressing about it. There's no point worrying about it. There's nothing you can do. So just go with the flow.
Go with it.
Make the best of a bad situation.
Yeah. Literally like a really bad situation. But So what happened? Were you sentenced quickly?
Well, our first year we were together, and I'm fighting it for 26 months, but they boxed me off in the higher security levels because they say that we are influencing the co-defendants.
Right.
We're telling them not to sign plea bargains. So then they want to get... Peter goes off to prison, they get me away from everybody.
They separate you two?
Yeah. They can basically put a thing on you, do not house together, so they keep you all separate. So I'm I'm locked down for a lot of it. But Peter, as soon as he got to the prison after a year in the jail, the Aryan Brotherhood guys come up to him and ask him what his charge is for, and he had a bad day. So there was a situation arose.
Oh no!
And these guys decide who live and die in the prison system.
Yeah.
Everyone cows down to them usually, except for him.
What's with all the bad stories about me?
I'm the innocent one, though. look at my face.
He's evil.
Boy next door.
I went over there to stay out of trouble. I went from... I would have only done 2 years if I'd stayed in England. I thought I'd run away and end up doing 7.5.
Is that how long you did?
Day for day, 7.5.
Tried to get him a job as a wrestler.
And
Look what happened.
What happened?
I got
Talk about a detour.
I got sentenced to 9.5 years. I got the lawyer that the New Mexican Mafia recommended. I got his name. Well, I keep his name out of it actually, but he got me a loophole whereby, as a first-time non-violent drug offender, I would only have to do 6.
Right.
So by reducing
that was being let off easy, was it? Doing the 9.5.
I feel that if I hadn't got that lawyer, I'd still be in prison because right away they put serious drug offender status on us, which carries 25 to life. And then in my second year, when I wasn't signing the plea bargain, they said, right, you've got they doubled my charges, they doubled my bail. I had 20 plus charges, and they said maximum 10 sentence on each. Go to trial, we'll give you 200. And I saw a guy before me, he refused to sign a plea bargain for 15, and they gave him 200.
I couldn't get my head around my plea bargain because it was no less than 5, no more than 8. I thought, well, it's not really a plea bargain, is it? Either way, I'm going to do some time here. But then I thought to myself, well, hang on, I've been in the county now for like 14 months. So, and I'm still thinking it's like over there, that if it's under 5, you do half or whatever. So, anyway, I went to court and they gave me 7.5, called me a menace to society, and it was going on and on and on. And I stood up and I said, listen, that's fine. I said, listen, but because we'd got arrested too.
Wildman.
So I said, listen, while she's actually here, I said, it's not her fault. She's done anything. I brought her over here, and I wouldn't give her a passport back. I said, so whatever time you're going to give her, you might as well give it to me, because I'm going to do 7.5 anyway. I don't think she should do any time. And he said, it's very, I don't know, they used a big word of me, but basically said it doesn't work like that. She's got it, because she had 153 charges herself.
What, Wild Woman did?
Yeah, she had the more charges than everyone.
Bloody hell.
Because she'd pick the phone up and do deals.
Okay.
And every time anyone called, the phones were tapped. So
she's like linked
every
to
call
all
was
that.
a charge.
Yeah. Shit.
Yeah.
No way. So, tell us about prison life. So you two are separate at this point. Did you ever come together again whilst you're inside?
No.
You never saw each other in those years?
No.
We could communicate a little bit through the British Embassy's legal mail.
We'd heard how one another's doing. I'd heard that,
How would you hear that?
just from other prisoners coming in.
Oh, right, okay.
Because after a while...
Great vine, isn't there?
Yeah. I mean...
Did you make a good network of friends in there? Or was that friend
He was
upon
running
because
it.
of what
They
you...
give him the building to run.
The whites give me the building to run for the whites.
When you say run, what does that entail? What do you have to do?
Well, basically, all the new guys would come in, the young lads and all that.
Yeah.
You have to sit down, talk to them, tell them, look, stay out of trouble, give them the rules.
Which are...
Like, don't sit on another race's bed.
Don't what? Sit on another race's bed?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Don't break bread with another race. Like, don't start eating with them or anything like that. Don't disrespect another race. Shower often. And just keep yourself to yourself, stay out of trouble. Because what the young lads do, they'd have a few beers or they'd get on hooch and they'd start... and a big main one was, when you're singing, don't listen to rap. Because you'd have white guys going around there and they'd be singing, and they'd be listening to like black hip hop. And a lot of them, their own people, say the N word. But you got a white guy singing, and he's saying it,
And he's saying the word,
and
yeah.
it's gonna cause a riot straight away.
So that was a rule not to listen to it.
It was a no. You could get smashed on sight for listening to it.
Right. So you'd give these instructions, rules to people
I
as
give the
they came
instructions
in?
yeah. At first I started off with just having one pod, and there's 8 pods in the building. And then after a while...
What's a pod?
It's just like, basically, there's a tower there.
Right.
And there's like sections what go like this. It's like more of a hexagon.
Okay.
And each one's 6. And each one of them holds like 100 prisoners. Like big domes. And I ended up running all 6 of them. So I'd have, in each one of them, I'd have a white guy, and he'd come to me weekly and tell me who's in debt, who's staying out of trouble, whose birthdays it is and stuff like that. Because any of the white guys would throw a birthday, we'd make like a big feast.
So did you not deal with the other races, am I right in thinking? You just dealt with white people?
Oh, yeah, no, I didn't tell the other races what to do.
Right, okay.
But I dealt with just the whites.
Right, okay.
Every race has those rules.
Right,
It's
so they all have
divided.
like, it's like a hierarchy in each race.
Yeah,
Right,
and
okay.
if there's problems with other races, their head would come and see me directly.
Right, yeah, okay.
But we'd never fall out over it. We wouldn't, me and the other heads
It was
would
just
take
like
it
a
personal.
structure thing to keep the peace.
It was just, exactly.
Because if there's a fight with a white and a black, and then there's a riot, all the prison gets locked down.
And there's no drugs coming
Then
in.
the drugs business stops. The absolute priority of the gangs is to keep the drugs business going.
So are you still doing that from within?
I'm not,
Are you
no,
arranging it?
I was getting drugs, but I wasn't. I was getting it just from the other prisoners. They were just, as a head, I got a percentage. And
You got them for
me.
everybody else, not yourself?
No, I just get them for myself. I wouldn't
yourself?
sell
He
it.
kicked down for personal use because he was the head of the building.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
He wasn't dealing.
I wasn't
Right, okay.
dealing, but they'd give me some for myself.
Right,
He was running gambling tables and stuff like that.
okay. What about you, Shaun? What was what was it like for you?
Well, when I first went in, I was terrified.
Oh,
I've seen stuff like Shawshank Redemption.
you're so different. Like you are so different, you two. Even though you're like,
Well, they put me in Tower 6 right away, and they put him and my co-defendants in Tower, what was it, in the 4. So I go in, I've been in the horseshoe for 2 or 3 days without any sleep, and then these skinheads come up to me, and like, hey, we want a word of you, get in this cell over here.
oh my God.
So I go into this cell at the back, they close the door, biggest one gets in my face, he's like, what are your charges, what are your charges? Now, your charges on a little printout that they give you in the horseshoe. It's all legal terminology. I was new to this. Conspiracy, crime syndicate. I didn't fully understand what it meant. So I said, I don't know what my charges mean. And that's not. He knocked the guy out who asked him what his charges were. And that's how he got that job. So I'm like making a right mess of this now. Now they got me against the wall about to attack me. What do you mean you don't know what your charges mean? Are you a chomo? You a chomo? I don't even know what a chomo is.
No, I don't know what the hell.
Chomo's child molester. Yeah.
Ooh.
So some charges.
That's what they thought you were.
Some charges are KOS, kill on sight.
Right
away, they will kill a child molester if he gets into that population. And in the end, they made me pull out my charge sheet. They saw I was in for drugs.
Thank fuck you had that.
I know. Well, they were buzzing off the bail because the bail bond was $750,000 cash only. Right. So they were like, God damn, what did you do? Who did you kill? And I was like, no, raves, ecstasy. We didn't kill anybody. And one of them was like, well, I shot a guy in the chest at a rave. I was high on GHB. And I'm here for attempted murder. And I was like...
I love the impression.
So... fortunately, what happened was they were going to check. They were checking me out, right?
Yeah.
They didn't trust me, and they found out he was in Tower 2, and they found out there was a load of us. And then when we went to the church, we were all on the back row hugging, and word just completely spread throughout Towers Jail, and no one messed with me once they knew I was with him.
Right.
Yeah.
So. What kind of, tell us like what you saw in there. Like what was the worst thing that you ever saw, like between you both? Or would you not even be able to
Well, we were
say?
housed separately, but we could see each other at church.
Yeah.
So we saw different things at different times.
What a place to meet.
It's this place you could all meet because everyone could go there.
Oh, could you speak in there?
Yeah.
You were fine to talk in there.
Ask Peter to try and whisper.
I know, I can't imagine that.
Can't.
So
Surprised you didn't go up in a ball of flames.
church on the street, past the wall, every 20 minutes he's stopping the entire mass because Peter is on the back row whispering to me. He's like, in the end times, revelations, scoffers and mockers will arise, and they're right now on the back row. The scoffers and mockers on the back row will burn in hell for eternity.
I actually got kicked out of church twice.
So what was the worst thing you saw in the whole of your prison experience?
Oh God, I don't even know. I don't even think I want to know now.
I'd probably, I'd have to say the black lad hanging.
Oh.
What was that? What happened in that one?
He basically hung himself off the bunk bed.
Oh.
Shit.
And that was probably the worst thing to actually wake up and see.
And to see it,
Yeah.
like in front of you. What about you, Shaun?
Just people getting looked like they were dead, carried out on stretchers, like not just blood coming out of their head, like yellow fluid coming out of their head, like brain stuff.
What?
Every day.
Oh my God.
Every day in the jail, because it's people coming in and out, all on crystal meth. It's crazy. Heads getting bashed against toilets, bodies getting thrown around. I saw people's teeth just flying out. I saw a guy with his leg pointing in the wrong direction. I saw a mentally ill old man who wouldn't stop rambling. The gang decided to shut him up. And as I walked past him, blood just squirted right out the back of his head.
Shit.
So I saw so much stuff, I can't even remember it all.
They've
It
given
was,
no mercy.
it was constant. It was
Yeah.
constant in the jail.
Just like you can become immune to it. It's like you just got.
Well, like I said, I was crap at it
normalised.
when I went in, and people were coming up to me saying, you got to get that look off your face, that nervousness, or else you're going to get smashed.
Yeah.
6 months in, I've got dead eyes. And even when I got out, I got my driver's license. I just looked like that, completely
Just
unemotional.
like, yeah. What's talking about like getting out? What's life like now? Like, so how long have you both been out for?
I got out in 02.
In 02?
Yeah.
What about you, Shaun? So would you have been 2004?
I got released in December of 2008.
All right.
And you got out in 09, didn't you?
I got sent down in 02.
Yeah.
Got out
You
in
got
09.
out,
Yeah.
Yeah.
09.
So I picked him up at the airport in London,
Yeah.
and he told me just to be there with litres of cider and some fags. And he gets out. What, you're wearing like a white prison thing?
Yeah.
And a plastic bag?
Long hair.
Longer,
Long
yeah.
hair.
Yeah.
I'd be heard down here. I wouldn't trust the barbers.
So we go outside, and he just gets this like 2 litre thing of cider and just drinks like almost the whole thing in a few gulps.
Why does this not shock me?
And
It was lovely as well.
he's breezed through the airport, and I breezed through the airport. No one, I thought he would ask me about what had happened, but then on the radio, some like intercom thing at the airport, they started yelling his name, "Come to some station or other."
All right.
So we're like, "All right, it's time for us to go."
So you just got off.
We just got
Yeah, I
off.
just got off, yeah.
We just left.
So what did you do? Come back up here?
Well, yeah.
Were you living in London? When did you move to London?
No, I
Shaun?
was living in Widnes for a year at my mum and dad's house.
Right.
Yeah.
So you both moved back up here.
I moved in with my dad
Right.
and then kicked it for a bit. And then I was there for about 6 months. And then I met my future wife and then moved in with her and got married. I was with her for about 6 months and got married. We've been together now for like, I'd say about 6 years. I don't actually know. So when you're watching this, sorry.
So is that because so you've like reached a point of contentment? Have you stopped? Are you both clean when it comes to what you're doing? Is this like, so you've come out and you're on the road to being straight, and what's happened since?
I drink probably too much and I smoke Rocky, smoke a joint now and again.
Yeah.
But I don't do no speed, don't do no coke, I don't do no weed, don't do anything like that.
And is it just a case of you both going round, aren't you, doing the chats and the motivational? But is it it is motivational speaking, isn't it? You can call it that.
Talks to young people and adults
Yeah.
across the country, yeah.
What are you telling kids when you're going into schools? I've not watched any of these. That's the only thing I've not really looked into. So
I don't do them, mate.
you don't do them.
Well, I can't, can I? I can't hardly have a joint and say, listen, don't do drugs.
True. So Shaun, what about you? So you're going into schools. You've got a book. You've done more than one book.
I've got
haven't
13 books out right now.
13?
Yeah, my life story is a trilogy. It's party time, all the naughty stuff we did. Hard time is the jail. And then prison time is sentenced and then return home.
you? Wow.
So I just go in and tell them, here's my story.
Yeah.
I don't go in and say drugs are bad for you or anything stupid like that. I just show what happened to me and the consequences and emphasise, how dark it was.
How do the kids
this
react
jail.
when you're talking about it?
Well,
Do you think it's obviously you're going to think it's beneficial because you're carrying on doing it.
speaking
aren't
of
you?
range of schools, from inner city schools to like Stowe School and Westminster,
Yeah.
and as soon as I get into the jail conditions, on the edges of the seats, dead rats in the food, the cockroaches crawling all over us at night, the guards murdering
Is that why you don't eat
prisoners.
meat?
I don't eat. I'm a veggie because of the dead rats in the jail food. Yeah,
Oh my God.
the Red Death mystery meat slop that occasionally had a dead rat in it. One time we gave a rat back to the guards. We complained. They said they'd investigate. Came back later in the day and said jail won't get any trouble. Said it was just a potato.
Oh my God.
With eyes and a tail.
So all this has led, to me becoming a speaker, to me and Peter doing all these videos on the YouTube channel,
Yeah.
doing talks to adults.
And it's massive, isn't it? It is big what you've done, like your podcast, your YouTube and stuff like that.
Yeah, we just got a shout out from Joe Rogan and Eddie Bravo. And,
Joe Rogan, that's massive.
Yeah, so that was
That's
really,
really big.
really helpful from those guys. Really appreciate it. Yeah.
Good. So go on. you've got your books.
I've got all these books in the pipeline.
He does too much though. He doesn't no
Just
rest.
doesn't start.
No, I mean literally from here now he's going to go to Cumbria and he's going to in between. He actually does Skypes on his phone and does interviews on his phone while in the car while driving.
I love that though. That's so good. Just completely just on the ball all the time.
Well, I'm speaking in Preston in the morning.
And so you just do the podcast, don't you?
I just do the criminal podcast mainly. Yeah.
Wildman said he's going to start interviewing people on his own soon.
Thanks for that, Shaun.
Would you like to see that? Put a comment below this video.
So we're going to put underneath actually. Oh, sorry.
All the books are available worldwide on Amazon.
Yeah.
Audio, ebook, and paperback.
Get subscribing as well.
Please subscribe to our channels.
You had some
Subscribe
great
to Helen's
people
channel.
on. Yeah,
If you want
definitely.
Wildman's t-shirt, go to everpress.com.
What's that?
I've got t-shirts out with my face on
I
it.
need to see it. Definitely.
Should have brought one, shouldn't
I
we?
know, I forgot.
Should have
Slip
done.
in.
Next,
I've
I'll bring
got
you
my
one
book.
next
I
time
need
I
a
see you one.
t-shirt. Definitely do. Right, guys, thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
And thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week.
Cheers.
Bye.